Okay, let's have a look at using the crisscross method to factorize more difficult expressions, and these are the ones where there might be some negative numbers in there. The method is exactly the same. You just have to be a little bit more careful because there are negative numbers. Okay, so start with this number here, the number to the left of the x squared, two numbers that multiply to make 2. Now remember, these two numbers must always be positive. Okay, so I'm going to write 2 and 1 because 2 times 1 is 2. Not a lot of choice there. They've both got to be positive. Brilliant. Okay, right, let's have a look at the number on the right then. So we're now going to look at the minus 6. So we want two numbers that multiply together to make minus 6. Now same advice as before, start with two numbers which are near each other. And another piece of advice, don't bother putting minuses in yet. Let's just write 2 times 3. Okay, and let's do the crisscross and see if there's any possibility that we could make just 1x. Remember, if we see just x by itself, it means 1. So I'm going to do 2 times 3, which gives me 6, 1 times 2, which gives me 2. Now I can see whether I'm adding or subtracting, I'm never going to make 1 from 6 and 2. So forget it. That's got to be no. Okay, so let's have a look then at trying something else. And what I'm going to try is looking at so leaving the 2 and the 1 as it is. Let's swap the 3 and the 2 over and have it so there's a 3 there and there's a 2 there. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. Now that's much more likely. 4 and 3 add up to 7, but 4 take away 3 is 1. If I can get the minus in the right place, then I've done it. I can see that I want 1x, so I want this to be negative. I want it to be 4 take away 3, which means that this 3 here has got to be negative. Let's just check. 2 2s are 4. 1 times minus 3 is minus 3. 4 add minus 3, which is just 4 take away 3, comes out as 1, which is correct. So my two brackets, and you remember the top two numbers give you one of your brackets, so that's 2x minus 3. The bottom two numbers give us my other bracket, which is going to be x plus 2. So that will be correctly factorized. Okay, let's try another one. So this time, first of all, looking at the 5, and we want two numbers that multiply together to give 5. Remember, they've both got to be positive, so I'm going to start with 5 and 1. Next, we go to the 6, and I want two numbers that multiply together to make 6. Right, let's write 2 times 3. 5 times 3, 15. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, so 15 and 2, that looks okay. But if they're both positive, 15 plus 2 comes out as 17, and that doesn't make any good. So that's not going to be any good, rather. So I need to play about with the signs here. So let's leave the 5 and the 1 where they are. Let's leave the 2 and the 3 where they are, and have another think. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, but it's also true that minus 2 times minus 3 comes out as 6. Right, so let's see whether that works. 5 times minus 3, well, that's minus 15. 1 times minus 2 is minus 2. And if I do minus 15 take away 2, then that does give me the minus 17 that I need. So my two brackets, so first of all, top two numbers, 5x minus 2. Bottom two numbers, x minus 3. And there we have it. Okay, let's try the next one. So, getting a bit more tricky now because we've got a choice of numbers. Same rule as before though, I'm always going to start with, if I've got 4, I could use 4 and 1 or 2 and 2. I'm going to start with 2 and 2. Remember, both positive. Now go for the 15. Well, let's just randomly start with 3 and 5. You never know, I might get lucky. 2 times 5, 10. And remember, I'm not going to bother with the minus to start with. I'm just going to see if these numbers are right. 2 5s are 10. 2 3s are 6. 10 and 6, that looks like it might be okay. So I need minus 4, so I need my 10 to be negative, and I need my 6 to be positive, because minus 10 add 6 gives me minus 4. Now to get the minus 10 then, it's got to be 2 times the minus 5. That's where the minus has got to be. Let's just check. 2 times minus 5 minus 10. 2 times 3 is 6. That's correct. That gives me minus 4. So actually I got there pretty well straight away. So top two numbers, 2 and 3, gives me 2x plus 3 for one of my brackets. Bottom two numbers, 2 and minus 5, that gives us the 2x minus 5. Okay, correctly factorised. Right, one more. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Use a bit of green this time for a change. Okay, starting with 6x squared, so starting with a 6, two numbers that times to make 6. Make sure they're as close together as possible to start with, so let's try 2 and 3. Just 9 times out of 10, this is what works. Now look at the 10. So two numbers that times to make 10. Don't choose 10 and 1, choose 5 and 2 to start with. Let's see if we've got lucky. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 2 is 4. And already I can see that 15 and 4, 19. Right, I'm looking okay. But trouble is 15 plus 4 makes positive 19. And I want negative 19. So that's no good. So stick with the 2 and 3. I'm going to stick with the 5 and the 2. Aha, just realised to make positive 10, they could both be negative. Let's see if that works now. 3 times minus 5, minus 15. 2 times minus 2, that's minus 4. And minus 15 take away 4 is minus 19, which is the term in the middle. So that's correct. So my two brackets, top two, one of my brackets is 2x minus 5. Bottom two, my other bracket is 3x minus 2. Okay, I'm going to give you one more type here, and this is unusual because it says factorise completely. Now, factorising completely means if there is a common factor, and remember that is a number that goes into 8, 28 and 12. If there's a common factor, you must take out that common factor. And that is always true when you're factorising. If you leave in a common factor, you haven't factorised completely. So let's start by just looking at 8x squared plus 28x plus 12. And this is going right back to the first type of factorising where we look and see, is there a number that goes into 8, 28 and 12? Well, I can see they're all even numbers. So 2 is a common factor, but so is 4. Excuse me, I'm going to have to cough. Sorry about that. Okay, 2 is a common factor, but so is 4. So let's take out that common factor 4, okay, and put it in front of one bracket. Remember, we take out a common factor, we just have one bracket. So that is going to be 2x squared plus 4 times 7 is 28, so that's 7x plus 3. Now, that's not factorised completely because I can still factorise 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 using the crisscross method. I'll do it over here. So let's look at the 2. Let's use 2 and 1 because 2 times 1 is 2. Now look at the 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. Great. 4 plus 3 is 7. So that's going to give me my brackets. So leave the 4 where it is and just change the one bracket into two brackets. So instead of 2x squared plus 7x plus 3, top two numbers means one of my brackets is 2x plus 3. And the second bracket is going to be 1x plus 1, which I'm just going to write as x plus 1. So be careful. There's usually a clue here which says factorise completely. They might not say that, but always when you're factorising, look for a common factor first. Okay?